So with the practice log, you'll be able to record the sections that's in here. So if you're practicing mindfulness, even if it's 5 minutes a day getting started, 10 minutes a day is the recommended amount. This gives you the availability to write that down with the day, how long you were able to do it, if you were only able to do it for 10 minutes, because really you're training your mind to settle down at any given moment, which is really beneficial in life, because sometimes our mind can go on a complete rampage, right? And sometimes we can't slow it down. So when we're doing mindfulness, we're training our mind to slow down and to be present right here where we're at. So this log allows you to do so. And it also comes with reflections and allows you to exercise the skill that you will learn throughout this program, and just to note what you're grateful for. So this is the paper version of it, but the digital version is in your app. And now with the app, I'm the only one as the course instructor that has access to see it. So this is very important, because when you're doing that, when you're completing your log and you're doing your meditations, if you have any questions about it, you can submit your questions there if it's a private question, or if you need additional assistance with it, I can help you with that. And, we can further discuss some items that come up. So that is very, very useful. And you'll also be able to see, how you're building your mindfulness muscle up. So your 10 minutes a day might come sooner than you like, or it might come later, but you'll be able to see how and why, right? And another good thing that I've learned personally is when I'm tracking it, I get to see where am I peaking at for different times of the day. So the last year or so, I've been doing my mindfulness practice right after I drop the kids off to school, because that way I have no interruptions. And that's my practice from dropping them off to school to work. So I get a good 15, 20 minutes in. But before that, I was doing it in the morning or in the evening. So it just really depends on where you are and how it's sitting with you. But now that we have COVID-19 on our side, it's nationwide. So now that we have COVID-19, you have more flexibility to kind of see what would work with you. Any questions about the app?
With the app itself, I know with the email you sent us a class number or class code. Do we have to put that in the app, or everything we need is right there?
Yeah, you shouldn't have to, but if you do need it, then let me know, then I'll give you that class number. Okay. All right. So that's with the app and that. And then, so also in that email was the course outline. Did you get a chance to look at it?
Let me go back. That was the one from yesterday? Oh, the very first one.
Mm-hmm. The one from yesterday.
Let me go back.
So the course outline talks about, it gives you a little bit of background about Koru and what the mindfulness program is. It talks even about the mindfulness app. So this is really your go-to guide to follow how we'll be working. So basically, this first class, we'll do some administrative stuff that we're doing now. And then we'll do 2 skills and a meditation. And on the agenda and on the outline, it kind of breaks down for you a description of what it is. So the belly and the diaphragmatic breathing, the dynamic breathing and the body scan is what we'll do today. Next week, we'll do a walking meditation and a gatha. And third week, we'll do guided imagery and labeling thoughts. And the fourth class, we'll do an eating meditation and labeling foods. All of these are my favorite courses to teach because they are so fun. And it's a different skill exercise in a different part of life. So you're literally learning a lot of techniques and a lot of tools that you can keep with you on hand and activate it when needed. So I appreciate that. Any questions about the outline on the agenda? If you didn't get it, I can email it back out to you.
Yeah, I didn't get that one, so if you would.
Okay. So let me make myself a note.
Queen, email it to me too, because I don't think I got that.
Okay. Agenda. All right. So I'll send that to y'all. So have you ever noticed you become so busy in life and that there's so much going on that you can literally be driving and you get there and be like, oh my gosh, how did I get there so quick? Has that ever happened to you?
All the time. All the time.
I mean, it's like, okay, really, did I even drive here? Did I just get picked up and did I fly? Because I don't remember any of it.
Mm-hmm.
That is an example of being mindless, meaning we're always on the go. We're always doing things just out of routine. Like we already know what to do. We got it down pat. And sometimes we don't take into account of how we're doing it, where we're doing it, who we're doing it with. And it detaches us from life. It detaches us from the present moment. Who knows what you would have experienced while you was driving that you missed because your mind was racing on one thing, but your body knows to be aware of what's going on, but it's not linking together, right?
Right.
So your brain is basically at that point on autopilot. And that could be dangerous, especially here in Charleston, because this traffic here is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where having mindfulness is one of those hidden key factors that can help with that, because we didn't take the switch off of being on autopilot, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just turn the switch off and we're just right here and able to really fully enjoy what it is that we're doing, the people that we're with, the tasks that we're working on, whatever it is, we're being fully present in that moment to experience that. So the benefits of it is it does lead to a higher level of autonomy. And they've done tons of tests, tons of experiments, and even with the Koru program. So this Koru program was created by Holly Rogers and Libby Webb out at Duke University. And Holly basically went to New Zealand. She's a psychiatrist, but she went to New Zealand, kind of took a year off, did an intensive study with them, and came back and created this program at Duke University. Now, Duke University, the type of students that go there are engineers, doctors. These are like highly stressed adults, emerging adults, younger adults that are in stressful environments. So they did this study and they presented this to them, and they noticed that students began to thrive more when they did cultivate a mindfulness practice. So they went ahead and patented, coined it, and provided a great package material for us all to take a hold of. So back in 2018, my coworker Robert, he came to me and he said, Queen, I found like a really great program for us to bring to the military members. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now, before this, I didn't have a steady mindfulness practice or really a meditation practice. I mean, I've meditated to the point of my spiritual being. So the Bible tells me to meditate on the word day and night. Okay, that's what I did. And I've applied it to my life. but I've never really done a deep dive into, aside from my relationship with Christ, what are the other benefits of meditation? And so that's what that program really taught me. And from then on, I've looked at elements of life in a different scope. And that's what my desire is to help you all with, is to help you see elements of life through a different scope. And for you to realize that you have the opportunity, you have the potential to redirect or to be as positive and effective as possible in your decision making or whatever it is that you're doing. So the mindfulness does lead to higher autonomy and life satisfaction, period. Now, of course, there's all these great benefits of, it lowers your blood pressure. Well, of course, if you're not getting yourself roused up all the time and getting yourself all excited, and you've learned how to decompress a lot of emotions that will get you in that state, of course, that's going to regulate your blood pressure, right? Makes sense. But in addition to that, it helps with tons of other things, and a lot of other health benefits, heart diseases, eating disorders, all types of things it helps with, because now you have a keen awareness of your body and how you can control it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have prepared this scale. I found it online, and we use this with our military folks as well. But this scale is just really to help you understand where you are in your current seat, in your current position, on a scale of mindlessness and mindfulness. So I'm going to share the screen. Woo, woo. So if you have a pen and paper, grab a pen and paper. And I'm going to attempt to share the screen. Okay. So, all right. So this is, can y'all see this, the mindful attention awareness scale?
Yeah.
All right. So this is a scale that was created by some psychologists, and they created this 15-item scale just so you can see your characteristics of your daily life, right? So you'll look at these questions below, and you'll use from the 1 to 6 scale, indicate how frequently or infrequently you currently have these experiences. All right, so answer according to what really reflects your experience rather than what you think your experience should be. And please treat each item separately from every other item. So you have 1 through 15. I'll give you guys just a few minutes to do that, and then we can tally them and really see where you are with your daily approach to mindfulness and mindlessness.
I'm done.
You done?
Mhm.
How about you, Shonda?
I'm done. Are we supposed to add up the numbers?
Okay. Yep. So to score the scale, you just compute the mean average. So you add them all up and then divide it by 15. So when you do that, the higher the score means the higher level of mindfulness that you currently have.
Okay.
How was that? Was that okay?
Girl, I'm sitting at 2.87. Okay.
Now, why is that? What do you think?
I know me, and one of the main reasons why I signed up, I run on automatic. Like, sometimes I can't sleep at night because my mind is constantly running, and that's why I try to do like meditation, where it's kind of like bringing myself down to fall asleep. And to be honest with you, I am so far to the left as far as being mindless that sometimes it's a reaction where I'm trying to calm down. Like, I shouldn't be calm because I go so much, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I know I just have, and it's not so much a lot that I have on my plate. What I've been working with probably the last year or so is saying no to doing things for other people and saying yes to doing stuff that I like to do.
Yeah.
So,
There's so much liberty in saying no.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing,
Mm-hmm.
Shonda.
My score was 0.23. No, yeah, that's what it was.
And what are your thoughts about that?
I guess that would be kind of right because I'm dealing with my kids, dealing with other things that's going on. So that probably be about right.
Yeah. And so almost like the same thing Terry was saying, like you just kind of on autopilot.
Yeah, as far as the sleeping part now, I don't really have any problems in that area, but the autopilot, yes,
Yeah.
because I have to get things done, and I know that I'm the only one that's going to get it done. That's in my mind. I'm the only one that's going to be able to get it done, so it has to get done.
Exactly. Yeah. I know what
Mm-hmm.
you mean. I too find myself on autopilot, especially, well, not now, but with the normal school year. It's like, all right, we getting out the house on this time. I know I'm going to be walking through my door at 5:47. I got to have dinner ready. Like boom, 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 boom. And so much on a schedule that it's hard to stop and really see what is new, like what has changed. And kids, their mind changes every day, their emotions change every day. And as soon as they get in the car, okay, how was your day? They're telling me how their day was, but am I really fully present and understanding, like, do I need to go check somebody? Like, am I really listening to what is really going on? So definitely, I definitely understand what you're saying as far as being on autopilot when it comes to kids and everything like that. So both you are spot on. And with the research, they're saying, the more mindful that we are, the more conscious that we are as humans. So if we can even just, if every human, especially now, if every human can just have 5 ounces of mindfulness in them, like the world would change drastically, because it wouldn't be so much more about me. It'll be more so about, okay, what can we do to make things better? It wouldn't be so much hostility. It'll be like, okay, well, let's fix this. What's the problem? Let's get a solution going. So I'm glad you guys found some awareness in this scale, and I encourage you to hold on to it and see. For the last class, I'll remind myself to bring it back up, and then let's see where your numbers change. What you think?
Like that. I like that.
That's cool.
Because that's going to be our measure of success, really. If you have, a different outcome from this same assessment, then I think that's a win.
Right.
So within the course, Holly Rogers, this is the book that you all have downloaded or that's going to download. And this is the Mindful 20-something. So they've written this book, and it's a very easy read. It's something that you can really read, like even before you go to bed, because it has different techniques in here that will help you to do that. But it goes so well along with the skills that we're teaching, because you get to think about it a little bit more. And then each day that you're doing it with the log, you're adding more to it. You're getting new insight, right? I think I froze for a second. You're getting new insight. So this is a really great book, and it even exceeds what we're going to talk about over the next 4 weeks. So I really encourage you to read it cover to cover in your time. We'll cover the first few areas, but definitely read it, because it's transformational. And some of the other suggested readings that they have, as you see, I have a little library of them. Real Happiness by Sharon Salzberg. And you can look her up on YouTube, or just about, I think she's done a few TED Talks as well. And she talks about, this book is The Power of Meditation, a 28-day program. But she talks about how practical and effective methods of meditation can help you each and every day to chart out greater outcomes in life. So this is another really good book, easy to read. And what I like about, I read a lot, and what I like about these type books is that when you're reading about meditation and mindfulness, it's never an expectation to read a book like how we read, excuse me, I feel like I'm losing my voice. Like how you read a fiction or nonfiction, where you're just like, first chapter and you're just in the book for the next 25 chapters and you're not picking your nose up, right? So these books aren't written to read like that. They're written to, read a chapter. The chapters are small, and then take some time to chew on it. Like, get some really good information out of it, apply it to your life. You might have to come back and underline, highlight, whichever. But, you'll be able to grab a lot of great stuff out of their books. So Real Happiness is a really good one. And if y'all get it and y'all want to do the 28-day challenge, I would love to do that with you.
I'm buying it right now off Amazon.
Yes, let's do it.
It's only like $10, the newer version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, so this book here is one of the last recommended, one of them, books. And this is Jon Kabat-Zinn. Now, Jon Kabat-Zinn, he went to Asia and studied mindfulness under the Buddha principles. And back in the 70s, he brought it over to America, so to speak, to westernize it, and to make it more applicable to our culture. So he is kind of like the grandfather, uncle-ish, I don't know how you want to say it, of mindfulness, but he brought it here, and he has basically made it into a model that's understandable, that we can apply to our culture and embody it as our own and reap the benefits. He created a MBSR program, a mindfulness-based stress reduction program, and I've been through that program as well, where it goes through intensive trainings on the breathing and connecting mind and body and just all of those great elements. But I really love this book. Wherever you go, there you are. And just like I said before, you know, the books are written just for you to take what you need in that moment. And this book in particular is written in a format that, excuse me, you literally open up the book to wherever it is. And like, for instance, this one is not practicing, is practicing. And this chapter alone is 2 pages, but it's a meditation book. So you read it, you think about it, you pray on it, you take what you need from it, you know? So I really love this book, and I actually keep this book with my Bible. I keep it with my Bible and my journal, because when I open it up, I want to read context that's going to not only fulfill my mind and my body and my soul, but my spirit as well. So I'm just going to read this little page out that I opened to last Sunday, and I've been chewing on it all week. Like, it's this one particular passage just opened up a whole aura of life for me. So this one is about generosity. Excuse me. So generosity is another quality which, like patience, letting go, non-judging, and trust, provides a solid foundation for mindfulness practice. You might experiment with using the cultivation of generosity as a vehicle for deep self-observation and inquiry, as well as an exercise in giving. A good place to start is with yourself. See if you can give yourself gifts that may be true blessings, such as self-acceptance or sometime each day with no purpose. Practice feeling deserving enough to accept these gifts without obligation, to simply receive from yourself and from the universe.
Affirmations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's even just something as simple as giving yourself the gift of time. Like, you've given yourself, even just to be here in this space, the gift of time to find out new ways of living, of addressing situations, of reducing stress, of helping you sleep, of gaining more control. Like, you giving yourself that gift of time to be here. So, all right. Well, do y'all have any questions about anything so far?
So far, no.
Okay, cool. So typically the number one question that we get is, what's the difference between mindfulness and meditation? And you can have one without the other, but then eventually you would have both. So to live mindfully, we must meditate. So meditation, we're kind of making ourselves present. We are, whether we're doing a Dharma talk and just thinking about, like how I read that could be a Dharma passage, is just thinking about, what is generosity? How can we be more generous to ourselves? How can we give of ourselves first before giving ourselves to others? How can we put on our face mask first before putting on someone else's? So kind of embodying that mindset. And then mindfully is, how are we doing this in the present moment? What are the thoughts and what are the actions that we're doing that is playing well with the meditation, if that makes sense? So that's a little bit about that. So on to the skills. So we're going to be doing diaphragmic breathing. So taking deep breaths from our diaphragm and locating that. And then we're also going to do another type of breathing, which is called dynamic breathing. So the dynamic breathing is more so geared towards if you're having feelings of maybe anxiety, or if you're really tired and you're working on something and coffee is not cutting it, energy drinks is not cutting it, but you really need like a boost of energy. Well, we know that when you're bringing oxygen into the body and it's getting into the bloodstream, it's waking you up, essentially. So this dynamic breathing technique is a technique that you'll be able to use to give you that same effect without the coffee, without the energy drinks, without the B12 pills, all of that. You can do this this technique and it'll help you out. I've used it personally, especially when I was finishing up grad school and I'm up typing papers. And I know if I drink this monster, it's going to keep me up for the next 8 hours. So if I do this dynamic breathing, then it's going to give me the boost of energy that I need to sustain the rest of this assignment. Or if I stayed up late one night and I need to like get up and really get in the mind frame of getting up, then I would do this exercise. I must admit to y'all, it does look funny. It does. And y'all have given yourself grace because you didn't even come on the video, but that's okay. I'll just let you watch me do it. But yeah, so this is actually a really great resource and tool. Let me see. I told you how silly it looks. Yep. So if you're in a standing position, or if you're in a sitting position, we're going to stand. And like I said, you'll watch me. And I'm going to do this one first, primarily because it does give you so much energy. And at least with the belly breathing, it'll start to bring our energy down. And then we'll do the body scan and that'll relax us a little more. Okay.
Hey, Queen, if you would stop sharing your screen, and then that way we could probably see it better.
Oh, see?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Yeah.
All in my life. All right.
All right, that's better. Now we can see you. Okay, cool.
Better? Is the angle good? Let me see if I can get this back a little bit. All right. So with this, it's a whole body experience. And if you have some tissue available, I recommend you having some tissue because we're going to breathe out of our nose quite heavily, and you might have some astronauts come out. So the very first important step to remember is you want to keep your mouth closed, and you want to breathe out your nose rapidly. Because, is my head cut off?
You're good.
Okay, you want to breathe out your nose rapidly. If you keep your mouth open, you may begin to hyperventilate. So if you keep your mouth closed and you breathe out your nose rapidly, then you'll be able to get the full effect of the exercise, okay? So if you're standing, you can do the standing. If you're sitting, you can sit at the edge of your chair. But you definitely want to have a straight posture for this. So if you just close your mouth and breathe rapidly out your nose like this, that'll be how we're pushing air in and getting air in and pushing it out. Okay, so you can try it with me. I already feel a little difference. So now, if you're familiar with the chicken dance, it's kind of going to look like the chicken dance, but what we're doing is we're using our arms as bellows. So if if you have a campfire and you want the campfire to get bigger, you use a bellow that's going to push air onto the fire to make it bigger. So we're going to use our arms as bellows. And what this is doing, this is expanding our lungs, right? And expanding our rib cage so that way we can get as much air as possible into our body, let it fill up and release it, okay? So we'll do this just a few times. You want to start at a 90-degree angle, and we're going to do it rapidly along with breathing out of your nose, okay? Just for a few seconds. Okay? So that's the first and second part of it. The next part, we want to bring energy into our body, right? So we just not only want to bring air, we want to bring energy. And we're going to do this by bending our knees, and it's all going to be one rapid motion. And this is what's going to wake your body up when you're needing that sometimes. So if you're around people, you can do it subtly to yourself, you know, without anybody really noticing. Or if you're like about to go into a staff meeting, or you're about to go give this huge presentation, you want to knock everybody off your feet, but you're feeling a little bit anxious, just do this a few times and all of that will be gone. You will have energy, you will have clarity, you will have confidence. Okay, so we're just going to do this for a few minutes. We're going to bend our knees, and we're going to breathe out of our nose, and we're going to use our arms, and we're going to do that for just a few. Actually, let me set my timer for, I hope y'all are doing it with me. Ooh.
I am.
Yay.
I won't breathe too hard in your ears, so I
All right, so we're going to do this for 30 seconds. Okay, and I'm going to put my timer on. Right here. More seconds. All right. Whew. Excuse me. Whenever I do this in a classroom, the last time I did a group, I had I think I had like 8 or 9 people in the group, and we ran out of tissue, so we got like toilet paper that we're passing around. Had we known that this corona situation was gonna, we would have saved the toilet paper.
You sure should have.
So how was that? How do you feel after that?
That definitely gave me a burst of energy.
That's right. It gives you a burst of energy. It really does.
I agree. That gave me some energy. Yes.
Yep. So even when you're, I don't know about y'all, but I've been, this teleworking, I've been late to work. Crazy. All I have to do is come downstairs. But when I do this in the morning, it does give me that extra boost of energy to get my day going, especially knowing that I have to telework and I have to teach 1st and 3rd grade. So I do this in the morning just to get me going, get me in a mindset, just to go ahead and get the day started. So, yeah. Well, I hope that you use this tool and find it effective for you. And try it out in different parts of the day. Try it out in different parts of life and see how you can utilize it. Just like anything, it's a tool and technique that we can always use, right? Y'all are both muted. I don't know if y'all are talking back to me or no.
We got you.
Okay, cool.
I agree. And it's trying not to hear the noise in the background.
Oh, that's fine. I had one of mine just come downstairs and I was telling them, go back upstairs. So with belly breathing, we're kind of doing the same thing, bringing air into our body, but we're doing it kind of in a different way. If you're familiar with your parasympathetic nervous system and how it works with your fight, flight, and freeze system, this is where having that belly breathing technique is useful multiple times throughout every single day, because at the end of the day, there's going to be a situation that arises every day that's either going to encourage you to fight back, whether it's an argument, whether it's, having to have the last word, or somebody cut you off and like your blood pressure then rose because now you're trying to flip them off, or anything like that. You broke the heel on your shoe. That happens to me a lot. That fight mode, or even in the flight, because that's just how, as humans, that's how we were, right? It was either fight, flight. If a bear came up to you, what are you going to do? You're going to fight, flight, or freeze. And so it takes over, it hijacks your amygdala. And when you're able to control your breathing and assess the situation properly, then you can control what it is that you're going to do. You can control the outcome. So different types of breathing helps with that. And this one, the belly breathing, increases the oxygen to the body, which will then decrease your heart rate and decrease your blood pressure and stimulate that immune system to act in accordance to which is you would feel is most important at that time. So the belly breathing definitely does activates that parasympathetic nervous system, which is that calming part of your body. So if you are sitting up in your chair, and if you can locate your diaphragm, I have on a few layers, but if you go right to where your rib cage is, where the sternum is, and if you feel that, and if you make a sound and you feel that muscle that tightens, that's your diaphragm. Can you feel it?
Yeah, I can feel it.
Okay. Can you feel it, Shonda?
Yes.
Okay. So when you're doing that and you're making that sound, you're activating that diaphragm. And you can utilize this, because you'll know that when you're breathing, when we do this technique, you'll feel the difference of your breathing areas. Now, some people are chest breathers and some people are belly breathers. So if you put one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest, and you take in some deep breaths, just taking a few deep breaths, and let's see, where are you rising in your chest, or does your belly rise more?
Belly for me.
Your belly.
Chest for me.
Chest, yep. So for the chest breathers, you can use a conscious effort to use your diaphragm when you're inhaling. So you want to push your belly out, and then when it's breathing back in as best as you can. And that's how we're going to maximize the amount of oxygen that we get to our body, because we're filling it in deeper into our body and letting it expand, opposed to our chest, where it's just coming at a more shallow area and then coming back out. So I'm going to walk you through this. And of course, everything takes practice, and we will learn together. And no matter how many times I do this, I learn a little bit something about myself each time. We will learn that with practice, things change. I mean, even with us starting to practice today, things can change next week. They're going to open back the beaches. They might open back the schools. They might, things are going to change. So we're going to be graceful and lean into that change, and see how our techniques help guide us through that. Okay. So I'm going to teach you the belly breathing technique. So if you are sitting in your chair, just go ahead and quietly close your eyes if you can, or put them at a soft gaze. And here we're going to do a belly breathing technique where you're going to take deep breaths in and you're going to feel the rise and fall of your belly. You want to get in all that good air and all that good oxygen into your body and allow your parasympathetic nervous system just to give you those calming effects. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to ask you to take notice of your mind. And when your mind begins to wander and come back, and it may wander again, just gently bring it back to this present moment, to where you are, without judgment, without criticism. Just gently bring it back to this very moment. That's what we are learning and training ourselves to do. Continue your deep breathing. And this is where mindfulness and belly breathing intersects. So if it's helpful to you, you can count your breaths. You can do counting to 10, or you can go from 10 to 1. You might like to use words saying in and out. Just keeping your mind stayed here. And that will help you focus on your breathing. Now, as you're breathing, I want you to deepen your breaths. Slow them down by counting silently to 3 or 4 on the inhalation and exhalation. Getting those nice deep breaths in. Just allow your breaths to ground you and anchor you. Filling your belly. Okay, take one last deep breath. Now you can come back to the room and open your eyes. And that is belly breathing. So making the use of your diaphragm, knowing that that muscle is expanding and bringing in all of that good air and oxygen for your body. Now tell me, how do you think you can use that in any day?
Before I yell at the kids.
That's right.
That's the truth, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is something that you can actually teach kids to do as well, you know, and to help them cultivate a level of awareness. Like before you do that, like really sit and think about it. And I know I do this with Gabby and Quincy because, you know, And even more so right now, they're going through transition just like we are. And they're experiencing different emotions. Like, they were the trauma of being taken away from your school and from your teachers, like without any type of transition. Um, it is a traumatic experience. And we can help help them be more aware of their feelings, just by taking deep breaths, because it will slow down the angst of the situation and bring some clarity to it. So um, you might benefit from this when you're trying to go to sleep, or anytime you really feel intense. Just take some really good deep breaths and fill up that belly with air. How's that sound?
Yeah, especially trying to go to sleep.
Sounds good to me.
Mhm.
Yep, yeah. So those are the two skills that we've learned. So the dynamic breathing and the belly breathing, and then just two different areas of life that you can use them in. We have a few minutes, and I definitely want to go through the body scan script with you. And I really love that this is a later in the evening class, because my hope is that the body scan will allow you to relax into a trance of relaxation for the rest of the evening. And you will notice better sleep. So I would
Okay.
really like to do that. Um, I'm going to do it. Well, I'm going to read the script, so that way I can make sure I get all your elements and everything. But um, I really want you to put yourself in a relaxation state. Now, I've talked to a few athletes, even, football players, some swimmers, and they've even reported, that they've been doing body scans because it helps them get into the moment, especially when you're noticing where your body is and the sensations of your body. It really helps you to optimize your performance. And then on the other side, a body scan can be really relaxing because you can notice the tense muscles that's in your body and begin to relax them. Now, oftentimes we don't realize how much our mind can really change how our body feels if we just focus and relax it. And if you notice that there's some tension there, be curious and be open to, why is that tension there? Did you pull something? Is this a previous injury? Is this something that you want to ice? Just kind of be really curious and open about it, as you're doing a body scan, and allow it to relax you. Okay. So this will take us through the completion of the workshop for tonight. I'm so excited. And I'll ask you, how you feel about it afterwards. But I definitely want to experience this with you all. So this is a body scan. And I'm going to do certain parts of your body, not the whole complete body, but definitely the main parts of the body. And just be open to it. And be relaxed. So go ahead and close your eyes, or place them at a soft gaze. This particular meditation is called a body scan. And in this body scan, you will use the sensations in your body to anchor your awareness to this present moment experience. So remember your breath, taking those deep breaths into your body. You will find that your mind will frequently wander away from your anchor, and this is known as the object of meditation. But see if you can just notice when your mind has wandered, and without making any judgments about yourself or your ability to do this, gently bring your attention back to the sensations of your body. It's the nature of the mind to think, and we're not trying to stop the mind from thinking. Instead, we're training our mind to focus better. And by learning to notice when it has wandered away and gently bring it back over and over to our present moment experience. As you pay attention to your body, consider inviting in an attitude of compassion. For some of us, our relationship with the body is complex. So try offering some gentleness and openness to whatever arises. So breathing in, deep breaths, breathing out. Just listen for the sound of the bell. Begin by bringing your awareness to the bottom of your feet. Notice the feeling of your feet resting on the floor or on the sofa. See if you can be curious about the sensations in your feet, where they are making contact with the floor, or notice the touch of your socks or the air on your skin. Notice if there are any other sensations in your feet. You may roll your ankles around. You may curl your toes. Just notice the sensations. Now, as you continue to watch the sensations in your feet, allow yourself also to become aware of your breath, moving in and out of your body. See if you can imagine your breath moving in and out through the bottom of your feet. With each in-breath, allow your awareness to sharpen. With each out-breath, allow tension and tightness to be released from your feet. Breathing in, focus your attention. Breathing out, release tension. Now move your awareness to your lower legs. And as you allow your attention to settle there, begin to imagine your breath moving in and out through your calf muscles, noting carefully the sensation in the calves. Even there, you might notice some tightness or tingling. But feel the air of your clothes against your skin, or perhaps nothing at all. See if you can just be aware of whatever is there. And with each in-breath, sharpen your focus on that sensation. And with each out-breath, release tightness and tension. Breathing in, focus your attention. Breathing out, release tension. If your mind wanders, see if you can just notice that. And with an attitude of kindness and patience, bring your attention back to the sensation of your legs. Now move your awareness up to your shoulders. Your shoulders is where we carry a lot of tension throughout our days. Notice the tension there. With each in-breath, breathe in, focus your attention there. And breathing out, release the tension. Once again, breathing in. Be curious of that tension. And on your exhale, release the tension. Now our final stop is going to be at your jaw. And we come to the jaw because we clench our teeth a lot when we're angry and when we're upset. And we want to release that tension. So just feel the sensations that's in your jawline, in your jawbone. Notice any cool air that's on your skin. Or if you have a sweater or a shirt, just notice what's touching it. Have a keen awareness. Focus your attention there on your jawline. And on your exhale, release that tension. When you notice your mind has wandered, just gently bring it back to the sensations of your body. If you notice that tension is in other parts of your body, focus your attention there. And imagine your breath moving in and out of that area. And as you're exhaling, you're releasing that tension. When you hear the sound of the bell, just make a commitment to bring this level of awareness to your activities. When you lie down to rest, when you're sitting in your chair, continue to bring this awareness to the rest of your day. Oh, if you need to stretch, feel free to stretch. You can open your eyes. Welcome you back into the space.
That was very relaxing.
Yes, I feel like I was going to go to sleep.
All right.
Good. I'm very, very, very glad that you found it relaxing. All right. Well, that kind of concludes our evening.
Awesome.
So I really hope you found value in today and you find yourself learning new ways that you can incorporate these skills and techniques into your daily lives. And big breath in.
Please, Mommy.
Okay, give me a second.
I know how to make popcorn by myself, please.
Okay. Perfect timing, right? Do y'all have any questions about anything?
No.
No, I don't.
Okay. I had